this is People of the State of Michigan versus Stephen Yates, docket number 16-915FH. Mr. Yates, you're here today based on allegations that you're in violation of probation, and what is alleged here is that on or about June 3rd of this year, you failed to complete relapse prevention. Do you understand the allegation against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
If it's proven true, it could subject you to a maximum penalty of up to 21 years in prison on each of the 2 prior convictions that you have here. You have the right to be represented by an attorney you are represented by Mr. Austin. Is that right, Mr. Austin?
Your Honor, I've not had a chance to speak with Mr. Yates yet on that. He did not have reliable contact information for me to be able to reach him, so I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry. I do see you filed an appearance, but you have the right to an attorney, and Mr. Austin from the Public Defender's Office is prepared to represent you. You also have the right to a contested hearing where you could appear by yourself or through your attorney. You could hear the evidence presented against you. You could cross-examine witnesses, and you could present your own evidence. So I'm going to oh, you don't want an attorney?
No, I'm okay without.
For sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'll postpone this if you need a chance to speak to Mr. Austin.
I think I'm okay.
Did you hear that, Mr. Austin?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. So then does that mean that you're pleading guilty to probation violation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you raise your right hand, please, Mr. Yates? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Yates, you do have the right to a contested hearing, and if you plead guilty, you won't have that hearing. You'll give up the rights that go along with it, and that includes the right to be represented by an attorney at the hearing, the right to have the allegations proven, the right to have the witnesses against you appear at the hearing and to be able to cross-examine them, the right to have this court order any witnesses that you might have to appear at the hearing, and also the right to testify yourself at the hearing if you wanted to. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promises to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone used any threats or other kinds of pressure?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you did violate probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what happened? What'd you do?
I had counseling set up through probation. It was telephone calls. Honestly, I'm here because my phone got stolen a while back. So I lost all my contact information. Also, I felt a little uncomfortable about it because I never met the guy, and I have counseling through Victory that I've had a same counselor for 1.5 years, and really going through a lot. My daughter's mom just passed away March 28th, so it's just me and the 3-year-old daughter. And honestly, the biggest reason was I didn't have my phone, but I'm not using that as an excuse. I could have borrowed one, hence why I'm here. But yes, I failed to call him.
Okay, because Mr. Keel told you you were like on your last chance, and then you still didn't.
Yeah, like that. I had talked to him to the previous week because I was calling him every week, and my phone honestly did get stolen. I had a reliable phone.
Okay. The court finds the plea is understandingly, voluntarily, and knowingly made. It is supported by the testimony. The plea of guilty is accepted. Mr. Yates is found guilty of probation violation. Agent Forrest, do you want to make a recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. The defendant's been on probation for approximately 4 years now. There's been a history of noncompliance, including this violation. I had spoken with the defendant earlier in the day that he missed the session with Mr. Keel, and reminded him. And when I then talked to him following that, he had advised that it had slipped his mind to contact him. The defendant's been in court on at least 3 prior occasions. I've got a probation violation show cause on October 9th of 2019, a bench warrant arraignment on December 18th of 2019, and a show cause on September 21st of 2020. So I don't believe that the court is bound by any sentencing restrictions, as this would be at least the 4th violation of this probation. Therefore, I would ask that the court just revoke probation and leave any additional jail time at the discretion of the court. The defendant does have 89 days of total credit. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Yates, what would you like to say?
I would just like to say I've been on probation for almost 4 years now. It's been a long road. you know, I lost my dad this past year. I just lost my girlfriend of 7 years, and I got through. Things are finally looking up for me. I'm in the rapid rehousing program. I found a place. I'm gonna move in Capitol Commons on the 1st. I go back to work Monday. It's just been a lot, and honestly, it was hard for me to talk to a guy I never met in person. You know what I mean? Like, he set it up to where I had to call this guy every week, and you know, I did. You know, it was just really hard for me to connect with somebody I couldn't see face to face talking about personal issues like that with. So going to Victory and having that same female counselor for over a year and a half really helped me to open up with her and talk to her. So I'm not using that as an excuse and try to justify for me not talking to him, but it's just been hard, and I just hope that I can put this behind me. You know, I guess that's all, Your Honor.
So you still go to Victory?
Yes,
And you see
I
that-
counsel her every week. Yeah.
Okay, so everything's been good? You've been
Yeah,
clean? and-
I've been clean for over a year and a half, Your Honor.
That's good.
I've been doing really good. And I don't want the court to think that I was trying to blow off this counselor or anything. It was just been, honestly, she just passed away March 28th. It's been really, really hard for me. And to talk to somebody that I've never met face to face was really hard for me.
Well, you know, Mr. Yates, you do have a little history here. The last few PVs have really bothered me because they showed some manipulative, lying behavior that concerned me. But, you know, we have to keep things in perspective here. You're on probation for 2 uttering and publishing offenses. I'm not that concerned about the uttering and publishing. I'm concerned about what was the underlying problem. And it seems like you've worked on that. I'm still not happy with the last few times that I saw you, but I am hopeful that you've really conquered the, you know, the hard stage of the substance use disorder. It's not that it's a fight that's over, but I think it sounds like you've gotten through the hardest stage. Again, I'm not sanctioning anything that you've done recently because it's very concerning. But in the big picture, I think you've done enough on probation. I hope that you'll stay with the Victory Clinic and you know, the job, everything.
With her passing away, really reinforced my sobriety and everything.
I hope so. That's more what I care about. It's
My
not
daughter,
the checks, it's your sobriety. And your daughter needs you now more than ever. She needs you clean and sober like a good dad.
That's all I want to be, is a good dad.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm revoking your probation, 89 days in jail with credit for 89 days served. You have the right to file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and your sentence in this matter. You're entitled to an attorney at public expense.